The salvage bay of Station Kepler-9 hummed with the usual symphony of alien commerce. Traders from 17 different species haggled over scrapped technology, their translators creating a cacophony of clicks, whistles, and harmonics. But in the darkest corner of the bay, past the Vrelian merchants and their crystalline wares, sat Eva Moreno, the only human on the station. She ran her calloused fingers across the surface of what the Corlaxians called dead metal. A massive piece of corroded machinery. They'd dumped in her bay 3 cycles ago. The station master, a pompous Threxian named Colvax, had laughed when she'd claimed it as payment for dock repairs. Worthless human, he chittered through his mandibles. That primitive junk is beyond even your species' desperate tinkering. No civilized race has revived technology that old in millennia. Ava had simply smiled and asked her assistant Oliver to help her haul it into her workshop. Oliver Chun, her partner in this desperate venture, emerged from beneath the massive hulk with grease staining his jumpsuit. Unlike Eva, who'd been born on Mars colony, Oliver was Earth native, though neither origin mattered much when you were the only 2 humans in this sector of the galaxy. The molecular structure is fascinating, Oliver said, adjusting his scanner. This thing is at least 15,000 years old, maybe older. The alloys don't match anything in the galactic archive. Eva nodded, her dark eyes reflecting the glow of her plasma torch. While other species had long ago perfected matter replication and energy-based construction, humanity had arrived at the galactic stage with something the elder races had forgotten: the ability to work with their hands, to understand machinery not through computational analysis, but through intuition and experience. The Corlaxians see corrosion and assume death, Eva murmured, tracing a pattern only she could see. But look here, the core housing is intact. Whatever this was, it was built to last. Oliver moved closer, following her gesture. You think it's a ship component? More than that. Ava's voice carried a hint of excitement that made Oliver smile despite their desperate circumstances. They'd come to Kepler-9 6 months ago with nothing but a broken shuttle and dreams of making it as independent salvagers. Every species they'd encountered had dismissed them humans were newcomers, primitives who'd barely mastered faster-than-light travel, while the galaxy had been using it for eons. But what the galaxies? Elder races didn't understand was that humanity's late arrival to the cosmic stage had been an advantage, not a limitation. Eva began welding a bypass circuit, her movements precise and confident. The other species relied on automated repair systems and fabricators. They'd input specifications and let machines do the work. But humans? Humans understood that every machine had a personality, a rhythm, a way it wanted to be fixed. Hand me the resonance calibrator, Eva said, and Oliver immediately provided the tool. They worked in synchrony, a dance perfected over countless repairs. As Ava connected the final circuit, something remarkable happened. The dead metal began to hum a low, harmonic vibration that caused several nearby aliens to stop their bartering and stare. Impossible, whispered a Vrelian merchant, her crystalline form refracting the sudden glow emanating from Ava's project. The corrosion, which had seemed permanent and absolute to every scan the Corlaxians had performed, began to flake away. Not through cleaning or grinding, but as if the metal itself was remembering what it had been, rejecting the decay that time had imposed upon it. Oliver's scanner went wild with readings. Eva, the energy signature, is not just powering on. It's regenerating. Ava's hands never stopped moving, making micro-adjustments that no automated system would have thought to perform. She worked by feel, by sound, by the barely perceptible changes in temperature and vibration. It was the kind of work that the galaxy's advanced species had delegated to machines so long ago that they'd forgotten the skill entirely. The other salvagers began to gather, forming a cautious semicircle around the human's workspace. Station Master Kovacs pushed through the crowd, his compound eyes wide with disbelief. "What are you doing?" he demanded. "That technology is beyond restoration." The Korlaxians analyzed it thoroughly. Eva didn't look up from her work. The Korlaxians analyzed it with standard protocols. They saw a dead machine. "I see a machine that's sleeping." Oliver smiled at that. It was the most human perspective imaginable, refusing to accept that something was beyond saving, that a tool once created with purpose and skill could ever be truly worthless. The Hulk continued its transformation. Panels that had seemed fused by age separated cleanly. Systems that had appeared corroded beyond function began displaying operational status. And at the center of it all, Ava worked with the focused intensity that had characterized humanity's approach to every challenge since they'd first looked up at the stars and decided to reach them. "There's something inside," Oliver said suddenly, his voice tight with excitement. "Eva, this isn't just a component. It's a container, and whatever's inside has been in stasis all this time." Eva made one final connection, and the entire structure blazed with light. The ancient metal, which moments before had been dismissed as worthless junk, now hummed with power that made the station's deck plates vibrate. Holographic interfaces materialized around the device, displaying symbols that predated every known language in the galactic archive. But as Eva and Oliver watched, the symbols began to shift, translating themselves into human mathematical notation, as if recognizing in these two salvagers something it hadn't encountered in millennia. Station Master Kovacs stepped back, his mandibles clicking nervously. "What have you awakened, human?" Eva finally looked up from her work, a satisfied smile on her grease-stained face. "Something your species gave up on too easily." She glanced at Oliver, who was already analyzing the holographic displays. "Something that recognizes the value of hands that know how to build, how to repair, how to refuse to accept that anything is ever truly beyond saving." The device pulsed once more, and a message appeared in the air, not in any alien tone, but in clear, unmistakable human script. "Makers detected. Initiate revival protocol." And in that moment, in a forgotten corner of a station full of advanced alien species, two humans stood before technology that predated galactic civilization itself, technology that had waited 15,000 years for someone who still remembered how to work with their hands, who still understood that no machine was ever truly worthless. The galaxy was about to learn what humanity had known all along. That ingenuity, determination, and the willingness to get your hands dirty could revitalize anything, no matter how dead it seemed.